say that Oxford debate is a way of discussion some topic, some issue. Today we are going to have very difficult issues to discuss. We've got 10 panelists that are going to provide us with some arguments for or against. And your task is to listen, try to understand, and take one side. Okay? So we've got a thesis, we've got antithesis, and before we start, you have to immediately, after you hear the thesis or antithesis, you have to take the side. And after the whole speeches, all of them, they would finish the speech, you have to decide one more time. Maybe they will convince you and you will change your mind. If not, you will remain in your seats. Do you understand? To make it a little bit clearer, I prepared the topics, okay? So argument, thesis and antithesis. But I would like you
that discrimination and prejudice are caused by the fear of diversity, that is, what is different from us. On my left side, we have supporters of the antithesis, that discrimination and prejudice are caused by the sense of superiority over diversity. Can you now please decide which side you support?
Only students. You have to take a side.
To speak their minds in turn. Please, listen to their speeches carefully and decide which side you really support. The first speech will be made by Claudia Dąbrowska, who will try to justify the thesis.
Hello everyone. Homophobia and discrimination against homosexuality, bisexuals and transsexuals arise from the fear of, first of all, from non-traditional or embarrassing sexuality. 90% of Polish citizens are Catholic, so it isn't surprising that homophobia is a common thing in Poland. It is especially noticed among men, elderly and worse educated people. The majority of religions reveal sexual differences. The Bible presents one and only the model of relationship, which is the bond between a man and a woman, like Adam and Eva. This conservative religious pattern eliminates the existence of different relationships, except for the one of two people of opposite sex. Sex between a man and a woman is the only one approved. This is the only one which guarantees offspring. Fear from different sexuality often results in ignorance. A lot of families in Poland treat sex issues as taboo. Many problems, questions, such as
parents also teach their children the rules that function only in heterosexual relationship. Why? Because they assume in advance that their children are of that sexual orientation. Moreover, if in the future it turns out that they are homosexuals, parents blame themselves for it quarrel with them, and even throw out of the house. It's terrible but true. Parents can't accept this fact. It's not consistent with their worldview. Heterosexuals publicly make fun of, comment unfairly, and humiliate people of different sexual orientations. They assume that only people similar to them
The
listen.
function of person determines what skin or eyes color we have. Still, we do not respect others. Contemporary racism does not purely refer to biological reasons anymore, but to cultural differences. Ethnic minorities are marginalized and persecuted, as they do not succumb to assimilation, but they desire to preserve their own heritage and identity and reject affiliation to the majority. They create a kind of ethnic ghettos, not to let other cultures and traditions to define their own. We do not even try to understand or get to know other cultures and customs. We simply take for granted that our culture is better and more perfect. This type of bad attitude appears primarily toward groups with low education level and low financial status, and is the result of conscious or subconscious feeling of low value, provinciality, and complexes, which in consequence leads to hatred and aggression towards others.
Various cosmetics all over our body undergo different complex operations, put on the most fashionable clothes just to look young and fit. The media provide us with the one and only model of people without any sense of aging. Those people are happy, smiling and cheerful, whereas the elderly very rarely appear in commercials, as they don't fit the perfect work of youth and joy. The media tries to idealize
No, don't say. Any other? Okay, is it all? Don't bribe them. Don't bribe them. Wow, she's saying that they won't have food or something. Okay.
I have to begin with an explanation what misogyny means. Briefly, it means aversion to women. Sometimes it takes form of disgust, prejudice, or even hatred. For some of us, it can be strange or unacceptable, but unfortunately, the misogyny exists in our societies. Sadly but truly, we can find statistics showing that this behavior is observed more and more often. Well, let's think what...
Woman who wanted to be a bus driver. She had driving license and all necessary documents, skills, medical tests, and will to do it. But unfortunately, no one wanted to employ her as a bus driver in their companies. Why? Because she was a woman. Employers said that it was a job for strong men, not women. But who said that she wasn't strong enough to do it? Okay, next example, which in fact is really connected with the first one. A lot of people think that women can only work doing feminine jobs like secretary or a nurse. Of course, all those kinds of jobs aren't well paid, and there's no possibility to get promoted.
A conviction that disabled people are in some way different from healthy people is wrong. We are the same and we have the same rights. So why this important issue is neglected? Firstly, the disabled have limited access to too many buildings. Majority of the buildings all over the world have steps, which everyone needs to climb, and which is rather difficult.
Nation of disabled people follows the belief and conviction that only healthy people are able to work efficiently and function in a society properly. To start with, I would like everybody to imagine a very simple situation. Can you please imagine a PE teacher in the middle of the gym in a wheelchair?
No.
Of course, it is
Nowadays, we often encounter discrimination against elderly people. But to tell the truth, in several years, everyone will be in the same situation. We should think why such improper situation takes place. Furthermore, discrimination against the elderly arises fiercely from.
In my opinion, an antipathy to old people does not arise from young people's groundless hatred based on inexplicable arguments, but because of the fact that young people's perception of the world significantly differs from the elderly one. I think that ageism arises mainly because of old generation ignorance and its physical conditions, which is something different and
I'm not changing them at all.
So this is the time that you can decide, okay? If you stay at that side, and those panelists or the opposite side maybe convinced you, you may change the seat. It means you change your mind, or you remain seated. You don't change your mind. That's good. No, don't say.
Any other?
Any other?
Okay, is it all? Don't write them. Don't write them. Wow. Saying that they won't have food or something like this. Okay. Okay, is it all? This is your final decision? Okay. So Monica, you have to count. How many people are at that side and how many people are at this side? I would say that. Okay. So we have more people that supported the antithesis. Okay? So it means the panelists were better and they convinced more people. And they are the winner. They are the winner of the debate. Thank you very much for listening to the speeches, which were quite difficult. Thank you, panelists, for making those speeches. Thank you, Monica, for dealing with all these things. Thank you very much.